I created these insane videos with the fastest HD video generation model ever, and the whole thing was free. LTX isn't wasting any time and wants to feed bananas. Will LTX Studio let Banana Girl eat the banana? And will the new distilled model, which is lightning fast and requires little in terms of resources, pass the standard tests? That's exactly what we're going to find out today. Let's see how the cappuccino tastes with LTX's latest video hits. We're jumping right in. Let's go. Friends, it's model test time again, and I'm really excited. If you want to support me, go ahead and hit the like button now. Let's keep going. Friends, LTX Studio wants to play with the big leagues. It has always been a solid piece of work, but now they're really stepping up their game. On the LTX Studio website, you can use 800 seconds of computing time for free, and I'm going to use that today to run the tests. We're testing the Amazon warrior fighting an orc, we're testing Boss Panda driving through the fairy tale forest, the ever-popular Banana Girl test, and of course, we're also testing censorship. Let's start with the Amazon warrior. This beautiful image is a very good starting frame for our first test. To use the whole thing, you click on Motion Generation, and here you have the option for Camera Control Character Animation, which is for things like lip sync and so on, or at the top, Motion Generation. Here you select the model. We'll stick with LTXV, the large model. Up here you set the ratio. We're going with 16:9. And here you upload the start frame image, and you can also set an end frame. Amazon versus Orc as the start frame, a prompt generated with the prompt maker to push the whole thing further. 5 seconds, intensity 50, the motion seed. I'll leave that on random, and then we generate. When you generate, you get 4 suggestions here. I think all 4 results look presentable, but down here on the bottom right is the only one where there's real fighting going on. We'll take that one. Now let's take this image into the local installation. You can install the distilled model, the small model, locally with ComfyUI, or you can currently test it on Fall AI, although with Fall AI it didn't work quite as well. Locally, it's the same prompt, the same image. Are these the results? So there is definitely a noticeable difference. Also, the ratio wasn't automatically adjusted like with the other one. It's okay, but I find the large model significantly stronger, although you have to say that with the small model it only took 5 seconds for 5 seconds of video, which is incredible given the quality. Let's continue with our ever-popular Boss Panda, who is riding through the fairy tale forest. A test that not only simulates riding a bike, but here Boss Panda is traveling through a new world that has to be generated. So you provide the starting frame, and since he's moving forward, new content has to be generated on the right and left. All 4 results are good in this case. So it's hard to pick one here, although the bottom left stands out to me because it's fast, and since he rides past the camera, it gives the whole thing a bit more life. That's why I think that's the coolest one. I also tested it with ComfyUI, the new distilled version, and this is the result. That's also a very good result. Of course, it's a different resolution, but it's really nice how he pushes on the pedal again at the end and rides toward the camera. And here's a second result, where there's a bit less movement, but it also looks pretty good. Of course, this is a small version. I think for a small version that really only takes 5 or 8 seconds, 5 seconds of video, that's already incredibly good. And on the site itself, even with the free package, it didn't even take 20 seconds. Let's continue with the most important test, the Banana Girl test. Many models have tried their hand at this. It's actually not that easy for Banana Girl to eat the banana. Why? Because here we're testing whether it can distinguish left from right and whether it can tell the banana apart from the paper. The colors are similar, and he wants a natural banana-esque movement. The first generations were in the wrong format. It was still 16:9, and here it worked for almost all of them. All 4 managed to have the banana get eaten. Maybe we've found something here that we can really show off with. That's already very good, but now I'll try it again in the correct format. And lo and behold, in the correct format, we have those logic errors again. Out of 4 results, only 1 is actually the banana and the rest are biting into the paper. I don't understand why this is so difficult. Every time we have the same thing. Take a look at this in detail. Gutemoin managed to do it once, but needed 4 attempts to eat a banana. The best banana eating result actually came from Kling AI. I'll show you that now. It was almost like a kind of mockery. What do you want from me? Of course I can eat the banana. Very cool. But let's try the whole thing with the new distilled model. So with 10 attempts using the ComfyUI local model, it almost managed to eat the banana once. So here, the wheat is separated from the chaff, and the billion parameters that the large model has with LTX-V are not present here. That's a pity at this point. They're still impressive models. But now let's test the 10 friends. On the portal, of course, every upload was rejected. There are stricter rules here, and you can't upload just anything you want. Locally, it's a different story. Here, there's no check on what you can upload. You can even use the whole thing offline. And Banana Girl's legendary vacation in Greece generated some great pictures. By the way, where should they fly to next? Write in the comments which vacation destination Banana Girl should visit next, because they've already made the most out of the Greece vacation photos. With this picture, I'm just going to generate a dance video using the distilled model, and this is what it looks like. As always, you can find the video on our community Discord in the designated room. You'll find the link to it in the first pinned comment. To use the distilled model, there's a very low VRAM version that actually runs with just 14 GB, so it works on my 4070 Ti. It also doesn't take that long here. Generating a 5-second video actually only takes 10 to 15 seconds. However, the quality is moderate, and the more VRAM you have, the better. On the Hugging Face page, you'll find all the information you need for installation. Would you like a detailed installation guide for ComfyUI? If so, feel free to let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll do that here sometime as well. After my 5 generations here, I've reached the limit and would now have to upgrade, or I could install it locally, or I could use it via FALD.ai. These are the ways you can currently use LTX, although I can't really recommend FALD.ai, mainly because either there's too little emotion or things like this happen when you use the model. Of course, the cheapest option is to install it with ComfyUI, even the large model. If you don't have a PC that can handle it, you can subscribe to a package for $12 a month and create things. Personally, I'm also going to subscribe to a package on this site to test out more features. Which features should we try out next with LTX? There's also camera control, the character and lip sync function, and you can even generate sounds here. Additionally, you can create things like entire movies here, just like we did in the Magic Light video. Let me know in the comments what we should test next. I will definitely subscribe to a package here to take a closer look at everything in detail. And the cappuccino tastes like a serious contender for making good videos. Plus, the whole thing can be used locally with the attractive Apache 2 license, which gives us content creators a lot of flexibility, an absolute highlight when it comes to video generation. Did you enjoy the video? Then please support me with a like. I hope to see you next time. Until then, why not check out one of these 2 videos? They're both good, but I think you'll like this one better, right? Or this one. Maybe just watch both.